I'm here with Limerick FC right back, Shaun Kelly, ahead of the new Airtricity League season. We will have a chat with him today. Shaun, it's been a rollercoaster ride since we last talked to you in June when you were injured before the Galway game. Neil MacDonald took the decision to release yourself, Robbie Williams and Paul O'Connor. Did you think that was the end of your association with Limerick FC and League of Ireland football at that stage?
I think been obviously asked a few times now about it. At the time it was a shock, but like I've said loads of times, these things in football, they happen, and you just get on with it. Everybody gets setbacks, knockbacks, and you just kind of got to get back up and go at it again. I think at the time it was a shock, and one that I'd obviously, when he said that he was taking a more of a youth way of going and stuff, it was you have to accept it and get on with it. And I think at the time it was a new job was coming up for me as well, so I thought it would be best maybe to take some time out. And I was never officially retired. I never said I was going to stop playing football, but it was more of the fact maybe I thought my time with Limerick obviously was coming to an end, and if something else came up then I probably would have looked at it. But then when obviously the phone call came this pre-season to come back and be able to work as well, I jumped at the chance.
Yeah, you mentioned that you will now work on the side as well as playing with Limerick. I mean, was that imperative to your decision to come back? When you think about, you've seen how quickly it can change, and how fragile football can be in that way.
Yeah, I think that's the thing in Ireland. A lot of people will tell you that with the way that the league is and stuff. If you can work and play, myself and Shaun Tracy does it as well. It was good, the fact that I could do both and work around it with work and playing football, which was the main thing. But football's all I've ever known, since I'm 16. So it's great that I'm able to do both, and I'm just happy to be back with Limerick now.
Yeah, I mean, you played for Ballinanty Rovers in Limerick's Junior League for the last 6 months, we'll say, in the previous time. Was that a culture shock from professional football in the way you prepare for games? And
I think probably not really the way you prepare, because I think when it's drilled into you, you kind of prepare the same way. It's always been the same way to prepare, but it was actually surprising. It's actually a really good league, and there's some really good players in the league, and played against them. I didn't play too many games. I think I've only maybe about 6 games or 7 games maybe I played for them, and I really enjoyed them, and it kept me ticking over myself, and got on. And Ballinanty were great to me, and the time that I was in, so it was great at the time. And Tom Daly and Decky Considine at the time was great, so I really enjoyed it, and got to know a good few of the lads as well, and I made new friends out of it. We obviously would have liked to have probably won more games with them, and getting beaten in the FAI Cup, because I know it meant so much to them, but it wasn't to be, and I enjoyed my time, so it was good while it lasted.
Yeah, you mentioned the upheaval in the squad. I mean, the upheaval in the squad even since you went has been quite big. I mean, Bastien Marie, Legia Lynch have left, Rodrigo Tozzi has left, but there's also been experienced players added now with the Dennehy brothers, Mark O'Sullivan. You've got young Conor Ellis. I mean, who's impressed you in pre-season?
I think the big thing is, obviously everybody only played 45 against Galway, and then maybe 70 against Cove, and then against Shelburne. Then more people are getting more runouts, and then we've obviously got Longford tomorrow, which we'll probably see more of, maybe people getting more minutes or whatever if Tommy decides that, obviously. But you're right on. It's a big change. There's a lot of big players. David O'Connor at the back. You've got Bastien. You've got Rodrigo Chidozie. You've a lot of big players, and the likes of Legia now, obviously more recently, that have left. So it's going to be a tough year. Don't get me wrong. Everybody knows that it's going to be a hard year, especially with the 10 teams. We'll be fighting to the last, to make sure that we stay in this league, and that's our aim. And I'm confident that we can do it. And we've obviously, since Tommy got the job, he's done great in getting experience in the door quick. So if we can get off to a good start, mainly in Sligo, I think it will set us up then.
Yeah, you mentioned Tommy Barrett there. Tommy's been captain of the club. He's went the whole way up, really. He's been captain of the club. He had a caretaker spell there for a couple of games. He's been assistant on occasion. He has the 19s job. But there's still a feeling amongst the general public or the League of Ireland public that he's been thrown in at the deep end, particularly with the timing, I suppose. But being such a young manager, would you agree with that? And how have you found training and matches under him so far?
I think Tommy's been great, and he's obviously got Willie with him and Joe Gamble, so he's got a great background team with him. So I think Tommy. I've said it before. I think it's a great appointment. Tommy could have easily shied away from it and said, that there wasn't players there at the time. Maybe there wasn't much experience, but Tommy took it on, and straight away you can see he's stamping his authority on the team. He's taken a lot of experience in, and some really good players, and you can see it already in the training. Everybody's buzzing around the place, but I think everybody does be in pre-season, and as long as we can take that into the season, then I think it'll be a good year.
Yeah, in terms of the league format, it's changed now. There's 10 teams. It's going to make it probably more competitive and tougher again. From my own point of view, I thought it was more of a thing of trying to make the first division a bit stronger. I mean, the first division was dying a death. Maybe to introduce a couple of bigger clubs, make it more competitive. But we've been down this road before. Do you actually think it will benefit the league?
Do you know what? I'm actually open-minded on this one. I've been asked it before. And with the 10 teams, it's going to be a lot tougher because everybody's strong. You've Cork and Dundalk, obviously, the last few years have been miles ahead of everyone. I think Shamrock Rovers and Derry now are coming back this year. The likes of St Pass have strengthened, and then you've ourselves and the likes of Bow, Sligo, Waterford have obviously come up and do really well. They're the kind of games there that we have to be winning, and I think if we can beat them, then we have a great chance of staying up comfortably. Obviously, keeping injury free is a big thing this year too. But as well with the first division, I think probably the strongest first division's been, I'd say, in years. So I'd say that there will be a tough year. I can't actually say who's going to win it, but I think this year definitely the Premier Division's going to be the strongest it's been for a number of years.
Yeah, first game up, Sligo Rovers. It's going to be a really tough game actually. And last year it was a tough trip to the showgrounds. It was 3-0 defeat, if I remember correctly. And Gerard Little has kind of revitalised Sligo a bit, especially towards the end of last season. I know it went to the last game for them, but a lot of people had written Sligo off at one point of the season. It's always tough up in the showgrounds.
I mean, no matter when you go there, I think now I've been in the league now 7 or 8 years, and I can't remember I've not won too many times there. And obviously when Paul Cook and stuff was manager, they were going on winning leagues and cups and things like that. So the last year when we went up, I think it was probably from the time that I was with Limerick last year, it was probably our toughest match that we had, and they were on us from the start, and they didn't give us a second. So we'll be preparing for that, knowing what's going to come at us, and especially after us last year beating them convincingly in the first game of the season, that'll be still in the few players that are there, the back of their minds. So we know going up there that it's going to be a really tough game, and that's it now. If we can start well against them and don't let them get in top like they did last time, then it will be huge.
Absolutely. Thanks very much for joining us, Shaun, and best of luck for the season.
No
we
problem.
hope it's a very good one for Limerick and for yourself personally. So thanks very much.
Adrian. Thank you. Good man.